am not looking forward to this. Castlevania Legends was a classic Vania released for the Game Boy after Symphony of the Night. It's got some big shoes to fill after immediately following one of the most revolutionary video games of all time. How'd it do? Well, let me put it this way. Series director Koji Igarashi removed Legends from the timeline and called it an embarrassment. Wow. This game must suck! Spoiler alert, it does. This time around, we play as the first, and unfortunately last, female Belmont known as Sonia. Because it followed Symphony, it had more open-ended stages. However, there was only one path that led to the end. This caused the game to be very confusing, often making you think, where do I go? Like other Castlevania games, striking candles will cause items to appear. However, unlike most other Castlevania titles, the traditional sub-weapons are replaced with 5 unique magic spells called soul weapons. Hearts are used as currency to acquire weapons, taking inspiration from Simon's Quest. Immediate red flag! The soul weapons are just not useful. They aren't very good or fun, and more often than not, I just forget I have them and just resort to using the vampire killer. I strongly prefer my candles just give me soul weapons. Speaking of candles, some candles are traps that send you to a room where you have to fight hordes of enemies. This music will haunt my nightmares. Speaking of music... They're a mixed bag. Let's talk about the story. It was supposed to be the first in the timeline where Sonia is the first Belmont to confront Dracula with the help of Alucard. And at the end, she swears that as long as the Belmonts are around, they will always be there to stop Dracula. Already some continuity error because in Castlevania 3, it was stated that Trevor is specifically the first Belmont to fight Dracula. And now you're saying that this chick is doing it? Okay. So once you get through the castle, it's time to once again take on Dracula, who I guess completely forgot what he learned in the last game and resorts back to teleporting around the room and shooting energy balls at you. Once his first form is defeated, he transforms into... Oh my god. Oh my god, Drac. Oh, this is your dumbest form yet. So after that life changer, once again the castle crumbles and Sonia's victorious. Sometime later she bears a child, who apparently is supposed to be Trevor. But then, who's the father? I know Alucard was supposed to be the love interest for Sonia, but... Oh. I see why this is removed from canon now. Castlevania Legends is... just boring. It's not as bad as Castlevania The Adventure, but it's still pretty bad. I can definitely see why Igarashi calls this an embarrassment. The levels are confusing, the soul weapons aren't fun to use, Sonia's not a very interesting character to play as. It's just not entertaining, not enjoyable, and those goddamn trap rooms! Whose idea was this? I hope he got fired! Okay, let's calm down a bit. Let's move on to something better. I said better!